Amazing fire signs energy. I hope that you're doing great. Welcome to your reading for the month of October with me, Adrian Nelson, your psychic tarot reader. I was a little bit delayed with this. Life was sort of happening, and so I just allowed it to happen. And so I'm doing this one for fire energies, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. There will be timestamped links down below in the description for you. Welcome to the reading. Take them as they resonate. So I'm going to draw some cards for you and then end off with a oracle card from the Keepers of the Light by Incredible Kyle Gray. All right, so we're going to get right into it. Oh yes, for those of you that wanted to sign up for the new online Udemy course that I have, the Abundance Manifestation Masterclass, I do apologize. I put the incorrect link in the previous ones. The right link is down below at the bottom for you now, so you can check it out. All right, Leo, let's get into it. So, oh, that came out right away. So Leo, oh, that is nice. I loved it very much, Leo. There's an opening of the heart. There's a, your heart chakra just started to open. It's just beautiful. You're just ready for new. You're ready for more. Soul step through. Very good things for you all around, all across the board. I love it. 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 Okay. All right. So, Ace of Wands, Lover's energy in your current space, which is that beautiful Gemini, Mercury communication energy, and then also Virgo energy, the Hermit energy. I see that, especially for those of you, Leo, that have been feeling, that you had to maybe sort of like, if you are South African, or South African in Cape Town rather, you're going to get it, but you felt that you had to be very open. Like you had to be very present, very focused, very always there, not allowed to have a break, not allowed to breathe. You have to like sort of like tick this box and that box, and you have to be here, there, and everywhere all simultaneously. For those of you that have been feeling super thinly spread and that felt that you had to, sort of like, I don't know, be chocolate to everyone, be ice cream to everyone. It's wonderful because I see that you're getting into a space where you're getting to have a break. Now, what I can tell you, Leo, is that you got to a space where you sort of like realized, I don't really want to say your own potential. I want to say more like you realize that for yourself, sort of like the time is now. I can see that you started to become very brave, that you really stepped forward, that you really started to do some things, that maybe you've wanted to do all along, or you have been doing, but you've been sort of like, just slightly drippity drop, just slightly sort of like not wanting to, and I feel it's coming from very good intentions with your beautiful heart, not wanting to step on anybody else's toes, not wanting to offend somebody else, not wanting to, sort of like by being you, almost like adversely, almost like tone down the validity of someone else of who they are. So I can see that beautiful consideration there in your heart, which is great. But I can see that for some of you, it's almost like you got some good sort of like consultation maybe, there recently from someone. And whatever it is, I just see it working out really, really well for you. I see it being very, very beautiful. Definitely the heart opening there, the heart space opening there, putting yourself first, which I absolutely fucking love, Leos. Because the thing about you is that, you are always so beautifully considerate of everyone, and you always say so much of how you can help other people, but that often directly leads you to placing yourself second, which I must be honest, I don't mean to be offensive at all, but I find it sort of tragic, when it comes to you, Leo, because there's such beauty that you have to give, and if only you will give just a tiny ounce of that beauty to yourself, you'll have even so much more to give to others, because a lot of you will completely run yourself on empty. You will like, they drive in the middle of the night, whoever, wherever, not taking their money because they may need it, and then there's no more fuel left in the car, and then it's like, no, you all remain in the car, you get yourself a rope and you pull this car through in the middle of the night, you sit inside, you be comfortable, let me do this for you. And I can see that for some of you, you got to almost like get the futility in that, how you're not serving the greatest good when you do that. So started to give to yourself more, started to become really, really brave, which I really, really love. And I see you really changing the dynamic of things at the moment. I see you powerfully speaking into existence, a lot of positivity, a lot of light, and also really speaking a break-in for yourself. I see help coming on board for you. I see you kind of like really changing the tables, but in such a beautiful, positive way. Maybe accepting help, which is really, really great. Accepting love, at least accepting the possibility of love, accepting that yes, I am worthy of that. I don't always just have to take the scraps and second best. And I see also that I see you being very smart over here, which I love. I see you setting up a nice plan here for yourself, whereas maybe especially things like maybe finding that love and accepting it so you can be at peace with that. Maybe setting up, not even setting up, it's almost like already having set up, but maybe sort of like activating channels of like passive income and stuff like that, maybe things like drop shipping and that sort of stuff. I see you being open to all of those sort of things, and I see you going forward and with the intention, and the intention actually paying off for you, beautiful Leos, where you can actually just have a little bit of a break and you can actually just enjoy your life a little bit. They're not always just so give, but also be in a space where you can almost like receive from this beautiful period of rest and recuperation that I can see that you gave to yourself. I love that. I love it. I love it. Some of you have definitely fallen in love, or you're about to, but you're opening yourself to love. You're opening, sort of like that vulnerable parts of you, which in a sense is really, when you think about it, Leo, that is really our strength. Because it takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of courage, or what I like to call the courage to be brave. It takes a lot of courage to actually show your vulnerabilities, to other people. Because that means that they can sort of use it against you. But what we often don't realize is that when we are at peace with what we call our vulnerabilities, then nobody can use it against us. I remember when I was a child, if I would even just slightly, remotely suspect that somebody was, thinking of anything sort of like in the lines of gay or anything like that, it's like my heart would just sort of like shrink in, and I was like, oh my God, why am I even here? Can I just die already? These days I don't give a fuck, because I'm at peace with my, not just my sexual identity, but with my actual identity as to who I am. And I always say to people, I don't give a flying fuck if you put on a neon sign and you write Adrian is a faggot over there. I will say, don't you think you should maybe add some sparkles to that type of thing? Because it doesn't affect me as it would have affected me before, because I made peace with it. And there is a power of making peace with, with your fears, which I can see that you've done. The cycle has come to an end. The World, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. I can also see that for some of you there might be a significant loss. This could be a passing of a loved one, or actually finally allowing yourself to mourn the passing of a loved one. And this is going to sound quite interesting, but I think that for some of you who's not a Leo, but you're watching this as a cross reading, I get that message coming through very strongly. There's a Leo on the other side that is actually finally moving on. Because in a way it's almost like they may have been hovering around after their passing, concerned about you, making sure that you are all right. And I see that they're finally moving on. And they're moving on because you are in a space where you can be okay with that now. Okay, you can actually make it peace. You can sort of like almost like grieve in a healthy way. All right, and I can see, for those of you Leos that are here on planet Earth, I can see you focusing on that big goal in the future. I can see you, feeling your fears, but they're no longer running the show. You understanding that they're part of a natural process. I can see you building something beautiful, something new, going to that next level. If I may say so, I'm very proud of you, that energy that I see here for you. Very, very proudly. I'm very, very happy, very excited, because it's like, there was this long sort of cycle that was going on, a bit of a dreary cycle in some ways, and that has come to an end, and it's come to a healthy end, which is so important. Clarifying that love is energy, so you've got the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles. So again, abundance in your life. It's like you are finally beginning to allow yourself to see yourself for the amazing being that you are. To to sort of like, I feel that for many of you, you had the right intentions, yes, absolutely, but you were so concerned about what if other people don't think I've got the right intentions. But I can see that you kind of went to that space, and you're going through that space in October where you're realizing, yes, these are my right intentions, this is my vision, this is my goal, this is what I'm meant to do in life. And I see you shaking off a little bit of the sort of like freeloaders, and in that sense, the people that are really on your side are going forward with you in beautiful ways, beautiful balance, everybody winning. For those of you that might feel like, almost like the time is right to reach out to someone, maybe like an influencer, or maybe to get like an internship or whatever, I can see the time for that being right now. Do that now. But what I get very strongly is, do not work for free. Don't offer to work for free. And if even if that is being offered, know your value and say to someone, well, I mean, I would have at least had hoped that you would have given me something that is more fair. So don't sort of like, just work for free, almost, in a sense, okay? Unless you get something of equal or even sort of more value back. So Queen of Cups, clarifying that Hermit energy, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. It's like for many of you, all the money that you got, you would have given it to like maybe another cause, someone else's well-being. All the time that you had, it's like there was no time for you in your life to just be you. But now I see that you're beginning to give to yourself more and more. You're beginning to see the value of that investment. And you know what's beautiful, Leo? Everybody's winning across the board as a direct result of that. So keep on doing that. Okay. Let's see what we've got for you with the Keepers of the Light. What is it that the Keepers of the Light would like to say to your beautiful, beautiful Leos? You have got Lord Shiva, transcendence. You see, new beginnings, transcendence. It says, rise up. Honor your inner force, Leo. Steps are being given. Dance with the universe. Allow your soul to be free. Okay? Allow yourself to be happy. Allow yourself to engage in the positive possibilities of life. Okay? Aries, what do we have for you, my dear? Oh, I like the feeling that I get for you. Let's just move this over here. My beautiful, beautiful Aries. I love Aries. And this recent full moon we actually had was in Aries, which is that, powerful, dynamic, new beginnings. Now is the time for you, Aries. If you have been sort of like compressing yourself a little bit, scared to be yourself, it's like you've come out of this deep, dark, depressing, consistently demotivating trip that would cast a dark shadow even over good things, it's almost like you finally cut off your perpetrator. Okay? I can see that you finally cut them off, and I don't really think that they're happy, but I see you focusing on you. I see you no longer being willing, no longer allowing yourself to be a victim of other people's ideas, other people's thoughts, outdated thoughts, your own fears, your own insecurities. The cards that you have, there's the Death card energy, you've got the High Priestess and the Nine of Swords. So very positive, very quick turnarounds here for you, especially with this High Priestess that is following the Death card energy. There might still be a lot of emotions that you need to work through in this upcoming month, my beautiful Aries. A lot of pain that might still be here. I'm going to say this to you, fuck being strong. Don't try to be strong. Don't try to, like, I can see a lot of you, you're in that space of like, I must focus, I must do it like this, I must do that, I must do that. But now what you really need to do is you need to heal. You need to allow yourself to rebalance so that you can shine, so that you can be that beautiful, amazing, incredible light that you have always been. Because, there has been some mega changes that has taken place, very much out with the old, in with the new. I can see that there may have been people that they may have horrendously taken advantage of your Aries. They may have, they may have come from a point of saying, well, you know what, I love you, I care about you, I know what's best for you, but they were really just gaslighting you. It's more like they were using you for their own personal agenda. and they just knew what buttons to push. Now, you could be dealing here, could have been dealing here with the energy, because for some of you, you still are. But, I do see you coming out of the dark into the light. But, you could have been dealing with someone that, maybe they were just very insecure within themselves. Maybe they didn't know how to give love, all those sort of things. But I can see that you just got tired of sort of like living almost like at the effect of somebody else's course, dancing to their rhythm and to their feelings and to their gaslighting, basically, and to their trauma and to their, because I can feel that for many of you, you may have been dealing here with someone that they were projecting all of their hurt and pains and fears and insecurities and unhealed patterns onto you. It was easier to project it onto you, as opposed to dealing with it themselves. And I can see that you just got tired of it, and it's almost like you went to a space and you said to yourself, I don't care what happens, my main focus, my main goal is going to be peace, and that is it. Okay? And I can see that you aligned with that higher power, handed over to source, spiritually really beautifully growing and progressing, my beautiful, beautiful Aries. And so allow yourself to feel these emotions, to process these emotions through. This is a time where you really want to be there for yourself. All right. For some of you, you may have also sort of maybe developed some very unhealthy codependent patterns, which might have been a way of dealing with sort of like dealing with what you couldn't deal with. It's because sometimes when people are very sort of like plonking on us, we don't see how we can be able to like stand up for ourselves and that sort of things. So we sort of like reflect that pattern onwards. So because maybe we can't be safe, we try to save other people, for example. But I can see that for many of you, it's like you may have lost a lot in life. You may have been taken a lot of advantage of. Somebody may have stolen from you. Maybe they've been very insulting towards you, and even just cold in energy. And I can see that for many of you, Aries, you're in that space where you realize that you could have been so much further in life. You could have so much better in life and so much more. And here's the thing. You can either keep on focusing on that and keep on stomping yourself down on that, or you can realize that now you have this opportunity to start a whole new path of life and to peacefully leave that past behind. So feel as bad as you need to, cry it all out, cry the anger, cry the worries, the fears, the concerns, the frustrations, all of it, but don't try to hold it inside. Don't try to be strong. Don't try to fight other people's battles for them. Okay? This is a month where you really want to be there for yourself, Aries. Okay? Prioritize yourself above all others. And I get for a lot of you the question is, well, what if they need me? You're still going to be there after October. You ain't going nowhere. All right? But for now, you just need to be there for yourself. All right? For the Death card energy, I've got the Page of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Ace of Swords for you. Yeah, so the penny most definitely dropped there. I don't even know if it's the penny that dropped. It's more like the whole bag of coins that drop here for you. And I can see that you somehow realize very clearly, Aries, that you have to choose yourself, because it was almost like, it's almost like you woke up this one morning, or you could have maybe been sitting like at a traffic light with your car, and you're like, fuck, I'm not living for myself at all. It's almost like being a soulless body. Like a clone, like just an avatar for someone else to almost like run you like with the remote control. I can see that for a lot of you, you realize that and you were like, no, so you chose happiness, you chose joy, you realize that you have to, and I'm so happy for that. I see you having really started to be brave to say, what is it that I need to do for myself, for my sanity, for my greater good, for my best interest. Love it, love it, love it, love it, freaking love it, Aries. Love it. It's like, it's like someone may have, I kind of feel like whoever this is, they almost like sort of like overplayed their hand. It might be more than one person, but there's a definite sort of instigating energy there, which might be a very sort of mother energy for many of you, or somebody that is sort of like representing that sort of energy for you. And it's almost like when you look at something or someone, sometimes when you look at a situation, you go to yourself, this is really toxic, this is really dark, I shouldn't do this. All right, so it's that breakthrough moment. So for the High Priestess, we've got the Hierophant, we've got the Hanged Man, then we've got the Knight of Wands. So it is new starts, it is new beginnings, but it's difficult, it's hard, and the thing is, Aries, when we have been sort of like almost like run by other people, you know, and for some reason, I don't know, I hear that song of Beyonce, what is it called, Run the World, you know, who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Girls. Who run this motherfucker? You know, you remember that? But it's, I just hear that who run the world type of thing, you know, and it's almost like, it's maybe, so maybe something happened at that moment, maybe that's when you had your breakthrough, but it's like you realize that somebody else was running your world, you know. And so you have to start to break away from that. Keep on, you know, keep on handing over to source. Keep on opening yourself to that higher power to come in and to help you. Keep on working at loving yourself, being kind to yourself, Aries. It's very important for you at this moment. You know, even if you're interested in someone else, allow yourself to open yourself to the possibility that maybe I can be with them, maybe it can work out. Don't try to think so far in advance. What if it doesn't happen? What if this happens? What if no, just be in the moment. Okay, just be in the here and the now. Let's look at this Nine of Swords. So the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. Your life is getting so much better across the board. Okay, so as you allow yourself to feel those feelings, it's very important, Aries. Allow yourself to feel those feelings, feel those emotions. Don't worry too much about love and stuff like that at the moment. In that department, everything is working out for you after you've allowed yourself to almost like do this inner emotional spring cleaning. Okay. Otherwise, you might drive even the best sort of thing and person and connection away from you. Let's see what we've got for you with the Keepers of the Light. You got Bridget. And how amazing. It speaks about inner strength, that beautiful weaving of something new happening for you, the light from your heart reigniting. It says, move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power, Aries. All right. Isn't that profound? Isn't that absolutely, absolutely profound? Recognize that you have the power to choose what you want with your life. You've got dominion over your life. All right. And that's what I got for you, Aries. Hope that it helps. And remember to check out the link for my courses in the description if you are interested. Sagittarius. Sag, I like your energy. It's a very Sag energy. It's a very all over the place. It's very happy. It's very, let's see what happens. You may have come through a little bit of darkness there for a bit, Sagittarius, but I see you being much more in your light now. I like that very much. Okay, what do we have for Sagittarius? Alrighty, so Sagittarius, look at the bottom of the deck there, Three of Swords. Your heart is healed. You are ready for new. You are ready for more. Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So, cards that came out for you were the Three of Pentacles. The King of this beautiful lady sitting on this chair is the King of Wands. And then also the Ace of Pentacles. All right. You know what I like when I'm picking up Sagittarius, which is so beautiful, is that, you know, you've got this beautiful sensitive emotions, and a lot of times you will give yourself a lot of anxiety because you don't want people to know and see, you know, that you are sensitive and that sort of stuff. But I see that you just opening yourself to being and to, you know, to light and to shine, and I love that, my beautiful, beautiful Sagittarius. I can see you just being yourself, you know, just being you, just being the beautiful person that you are. There's new starts here, there's new beginnings here, there's helpful people coming on board, there's positive sort of changes in your personal life, in your finances, in your career. I see you being very especially going forward in the month of October. I can see that you've worked very hard to get to where you are, my beautiful, beautiful Sagittarius. But now you're in that space where you've taken all the right steps. You've done the best that you can. You didn't allow yourself to become overly sort of like overwhelmed and overly sort of like involved in things that you don't have to get involved in. You sort of like just allowed yourself to be, you know. And I can see because of that, it's almost like things started to sort of like shape together, you know, almost by themselves. You know, a lot of times in life when we try to push life so hard, things have a tendency to not work out for us. But when we allow life to simply be, that is when the magic usually comes to us, and it just comes to us naturally and easily and effortlessly. But you have definitely put in the work. In many ways, you've even put yourself on the line. And I also see that you've got a lot of clarity, Sagittarius, on who it is that you can depend on and who it is that you can't depend on. And I can see that for many of you, you've realized, okay, so that is not going to work for me, and that is going to work for me. So it's not really about burning bridges, but it's almost like also sometimes when you see that a bridge is burning, you realize almost from a higher self that maybe this was your higher self that actually set the bridge on fire. Burn, baby, burn. And I can see that you're in this space now where you're just ready for new, you're ready for more. You're not in a space where you almost sort of like sacrifice yourself for the supposed higher good anymore. Beautiful breakthroughs that's happening for you. And so what is happening over here is because you are in the space where, and I love this very much, I can feel that you're having peace within your heart. Things being the way that they are. It's like you are opening the universal sources of abundance, prosperity, and success to come through for you. It's taken you a very long time to get to this point of peace within your heart, my beautiful Sagittarius. So I'm going to say to you, just be there. Allow yourself to be there. Allow yourself to feel. Okay? Allow yourself to let prosperity come through in whichever way it's best for you to come through. Okay? Let's clarify the Three of Pentacles for you. Look at that card hopping out there. Two of Swords in reverse. Yeah. So it's almost like there's a lot of clarity that came about for you. Blessings in disguise, basically, that came through here for you, Sagittarius. Where you got some clarity. I'm not going to say who it is that you can depend on or not. Because, that's too harsh. But it's almost like, sometimes in life you've got a vision. This is how I'm going to do my life. This is how it's going to go. That is how the experience is going to be. But then we sort of realize that, well, maybe we need to be open to something different in a different way. So I see that you've got a lot of clarity for the future going forward. But it's a good thing. So even those disappointments that you had, that's actually a very good thing. Because once we realize that, this is not really, let me just show you the cards. So Two of Swords in reverse, Page of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. So once we realize that for the vision and the goal that I have for my life, this is not, this is not sort of like, let's almost call it like a resource or a possibility that I can lean upon, that I can depend upon. I can see that you realize that you go like, oh, okay, so, not this way, so let's go the other way. So instead of like pushing and making it work and, almost like getting aggro and stuff like that, I can see that you chose your heart beautifully. What are you looking at? I'm looking at my doggy. What are they doing? It's raining outside. I think people are running in the rain. So I can see that you sort of like chose what was right for you, what was right for your heart. There's a lot of wish fulfillment that happened. So there may have been some personal struggles for you that were happening over here, Sagittarius. But what I do love very much is that I can see that it's almost like through the darkest of times, the light started to come through and life did get better for you. Okay? Life did get better for you. I like that. Beautiful wish fulfillment. It's like, in many ways, it's almost like you got to see the beautiful small things in life again. I love that. Okay, so what do we have? It's definitely blessings coming through here for you. I like it very much. So looking at this King of Wands, look at that. Here's this Three of Swords again. Remember, was it for you? Yeah. It was for you that the Three of Swords came through initially. And so you've got the Three of Swords again, the Five of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles, which is very interesting. The Three of Swords message definitely wants to come through for you, because what I would do is I've got 3 different decks of cards here since I'm doing these readings in triplicities, and I would do the clarification from the same deck that I drew from initially. And I didn't even realize that I was using a different deck. So the Three of Swords message definitely wanted to come through for you, my beautiful, beautiful Sagittarius, letting you know that you are ready for new, that you are ready for more, that you are ready for dynamic, wonderful greatness. So Three of Swords, Five of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful heart healing that's taken place. You might still feel a little bit hurt. You might still feel that, you know, you've got that beautiful, considerate heart that, you know, there's still some emotions that are happening over here. And I can see that some of you still want to, you know, take that high road. And there's nothing wrong with taking the high road, but check in with your feelings and your emotions. When you're thinking of taking this high road, how does it feel inside? Is it the right high road for you and for your highest good? All right? Because I do see that for both of you, there is some self-sabotage just kicking in here. Things are getting better. You're feeling better. And it's almost like you might be open to sort of like thinking of those past energies a little bit. Should I try? Should I maybe be the one that tried to instigate the peace and stuff like that? That is your choice, but I would say not at the sacrifice of your own peace. Okay? Let's clarify this Ace of Pentacles here for you. This breakthrough, this financial breakthrough, the time for you is now. The time for you is now. The moment for you, this is your moment, this is your time to shine. You've got the Ace of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the beautiful Jupiter energy, things turning in a positive direction, as well as the Tower energy, Mars energy. So this is a time for reals where you're really getting to see things, Sagittarius, for what they exactly are. So it's almost like the thing that Maya Angelou used to say. When you know, when people show you who they are, but also when you say the truth for what it is, believe it the first time. Don't try to sort of tiptoe around it, make it something beautiful, put a positive spin on it, throw away affirmation on it. It is what the fuck it is, okay? And you can accept that with peace. If you don't, it might cause a lot of almost like sort of like, how do I say this? Disharmony inside of you. All right, so there are some truths coming to light. You are seeing what it is that you need to do going forward. Some of you need to actually leave certain people behind. This could even be a significant other person behind, and it's almost like, don't try. The worst thing that you want to do is don't try to be a savior. Whatever happens, let it happen. Whatever breaks through, let it break through. Whatever falls apart, let it fall apart. Okay, let it be whatever it needs to be. And that you can do from from a point of love as much as you can, then everybody will benefit, including you and including the other person that you might be afraid might be disadvantaged. Okay. Let's see, my beautiful Sagittarius, what we have for you from the Keepers of the Light. What message does the Keepers of the Light have for my beautiful Sagittarius, please? Okay, there's a couple of cards that came out. I'm just going to put them back. What is the message that Sag needs? Master Jesus, forgiveness. I was actually going to say earlier on, I see many of you moving into a space where you're going closer to Source, God, your religion, whatever really is that safe beacon of hope for you. And I mean, it's perfect. It is perfect for you. It says you are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. All right? Father, healing is possible at this moment. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to feel. Allow that higher, better good to come into your life for your own highest good, my beautiful Sagittarius. Okay? That's what I have for you. Hope that it helps. If it resonates, remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.